Hi guys, it's Leia. Today I will be doing my May wrap-up. As usual, it's late, sorry, but anyway, I read a total of 4 books in the month of May. 2 of them were buddy reads and the other 2 were from the hashtag Year of Cosmere read along. The first book that I finished is Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. I buddy read this with Marines over at My Name is Marines. And I had high hopes for this book, but unfortunately I did not enjoy it. But I had such a great time reading this with Marines. We both had the same feelings about this book, and it was fun just reading it with her and kind of just laughing about it and venting about it. There were a lot of things that we weren't enjoying about this book. Me personally, my biggest problem with this book is the fact that it was pitched as a dystopian, and I remember reading the back of this book a while ago and thinking, oh my god, this is gonna be such a fun read, and I was highly disappointed. I want to read to you guys the little paragraph in the back that kind of really drew me to the book. It says, in this electrifying debut, Tahira Mafi presents a riveting dystopian world, a thrilling superhero story, and an unforgettable heroine. This book was nothing like that description, in my opinion. I mean, I would not say that this book has a riveting dystopian world. If anything, the world building was lackluster. They didn't say much about this world, nor do I think it really mattered in this book because it was solely based on the love triangle going on. So that's that. The next thing is a thrilling superhero story. First of all, I didn't really get superhero story at all from this book. So, I don't know, there was no superhero thing going on. Yeah. I don't even know what to say about that statement. I have no words. And as far as unforgettable heroine, I don't think Juliet was that memorable as a character for me, so I don't know. That statement in general just really bothered me because it gives the reader, myself, it gave me expectations about this book and it did not deliver. I mean, I get that it's just a summary, and I know some books give vague summaries, and that's fine. But if you're going to give a summary, I feel that it's important for it to at least reflect the actual book, and to me it did not. I was very disappointed with this book, and besides that, I was not liking Tahira Mafi's writing style. I didn't enjoy it that much. I thought it was overdone, and I have no intention of continuing on with this series. However, I'm glad I buddy read this with Marines because although I did not enjoy the book, I had a great time buddy reading this with her. The next book that I finished in May was The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. I freaking loved this book. If you watched my previous video, I was just gushing about this book. I loved it so much. I'm still kind of giddy about it. I loved it. It was such a perfect conclusion to the Mistborn trilogy. It was so good. Obviously, I'm biased because I just love the crap out of this series. It couldn't have ended better. It was just so good. It was action-packed. It was fast-paced. It made me laugh. It made me cry. And overall, I thought the ending was just really appropriate, and I really loved it. The pacing was great. All the twists and turns in the story were they were so good. I can't say enough good things about this book. I highly recommend it. If you read the series and you finished it, let me know what you thought. I personally really loved it, and I'm excited to continue on with the next part of the Mistborn series, which takes place 200 years in the future. So I'm really excited to start that. But as far as the original Mistborn trilogy, I loved it so much, and it's officially one of my favorite series ever. I loved it. I loved it. The next book that I finished was Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh. I buddy read this with Trina over at Between Chapters. So this book follows our main character, Mira, and she is trying to save her kingdom called Winter. So all the kingdoms in this book, or I guess the main lands in this book, they're called seasons, and each land is based on a certain season, like winter, summer, spring, autumn, and they have other lands in between, I think. And it follows her and the rest of the Winterians, and they're trying to save their kingdom. And yeah, there's a nice little twist at the end, and the characters were really likable. I really liked the main character, Mira. She was spunky. She was a really strong character, yet she also had her flaws, and I felt like she was a really balanced character, and I really enjoyed reading about her. And also, I really liked the love triangle as well in this book. I thought it was really cute. I'm definitely on Team Theron because he's just awesome and I love him. And yeah, I thought it was a very enjoyable book. I give it a 3.75 stars. It was definitely better than a 3.5, but I couldn't quite give it a 4. Although I like the world, it didn't seem believable to me. And I know it's like a fantasy world, but how it was set up wasn't really believable. Like, for example, Hogwarts. Obviously it's not real, but it felt so real. You know what I mean? The kingdom, the world in Snow Like Ashes was good, but it just didn't feel real to me. So that was kind of a big deal in my opinion. I really enjoy world building, so that kind of bothered me a bit. And also there were parts of the magic system that I was really confused about, so I kind of wish things were explained more. But overall, I really enjoyed it, and I'm really excited for the next book. And also, of course, it was so much fun reading it with Trina. I just really enjoyed gushing about Theron with her, and like talking about Mira and talking about our theories, and it was such a fun time, and I can't wait to buddy read with her again, hopefully very soon. The last book that I finished was Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. This book centers around the city of Elantris, and it used to be pretty much the city of the gods. It was a bright, walled, shining city with really tall towers, and the people who lived there, their skin glowed, their hair was golden, and they were able to do magic, and they were seen as gods by the rest of the kingdom. One day, Elantris just falls. The magic goes away. A lot of the citizens die, and then the remaining citizens are kind of this, I want to say zombie-like characters, or not zombies, but their skin is all gray and cracked, and their wounds don't heal, and they lose their hair, and they have no more magic, and they're essentially like corpses, but they're not dead. So they now see Elantris as being cursed, and every now and then someone gets cursed with this Elantrian disease, and they put that person into Elantris to live there, and it follows three main characters, one living in Elantris, one living in the neighboring city of Kay, and the other one trying to take over the world and destroy Elantris. And although I really enjoyed this book, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It didn't quite compare to Mistborn. It was very, very slow in the beginning, and also it took a lot out of me. Like, with all the different religions and all the politics in this book, it was very hard to learn everything, and I had to keep flipping back because I forgot certain things, and there was just a lot to take in the beginning. But I felt like once you got used to the world, it was really, really interesting to read about the interaction of the characters, and towards the middle, when all the characters kind of start interacting more, it gets really, really interesting, and the pace picks up significantly, and the ending was really action-packed and really fun to read. It was a little predictable, but it was still a fun time reading the book, and I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I recommend it if you're into books that have a kind of political and religious tone to it, but it's not overpowering if you're worried about that. But yeah, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't my favorite book. I guess reading Mistborn first, I had this expectation, I guess, and the book was a lot slower compared to the Mistborn series, so that kind of caught me off guard and affected how I like the book, but I still overall really enjoyed it. Alright guys, those are all the books that I read in the month of May. If you read any of them, let me know down below so we can chat about it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!